All right, guys, we are alive. Um, how we doing, everybody? Welcome, Friday. Super excited to have everyone. As always, here. Just wait a few minutes to let people join us. But in the meantime, tell me where you're watching from. Good old vetted tradition here. Let me know where in the world you're at. San Jose, California. Awesome. Love it. You know what? I'm going to throw them up. San Jose, Arizona, Belgium, Rochester. What's up, Heiser? Ireland, London, Tampa in the house, Charlotte, Cromwell. Oh my, this is going to be too hard. PA, Munich, Daniel in Sydney, the Aussies, Las Vegas. Oh my God, Oregon, Malta, Dundee, Scotland. Okay, I can't put all the comments up. I want to read them. The Netherlands, love it. Oh, Colorado, Switzerland, love it. Iceland. Oh Jesus, so cool. Buffalo, New York, DFW, Benson, DFW. That's my man right there. Fort Worth, Lancashire, Brooker's in the house. Thank you, mods, as always. This is going to be an interesting one. New Zealand, LA, NYC. Love NYC, man. Serbia. I want to go there so bad. California. I've been to California in a minute. Toronto, beautiful city. Been there once, loved it. North Wales, awesome. Alabama, Holland, beautiful. Boston, Florida, a lot in Florida. Love that. Clayton, California, Bay Area. Love it. Oh, San Francisco. It's been a minute. Ohio. Am I saying that? Wapakoneta? I love that. I don't know if I said that right, Kyle. Florida, Cowtown, Slovenia, Montreal. Oh, look at that. India. Love it. Chicago, USA. USA. All right. Yes. Brooklyn. Wow. Look at that. Another Dallas. Little Rock. Brazil. Vámonos. We really are just a worldwide audience. It's honestly it blows my mind every time. Trust me. Stockholm, Nuremberg. Oh God. Oh, Corsica, Napoleon's birthplace. That's cool. Ireland. Hawaii, baby. Hell yeah. Virginia. Scotland. I don't know if I did that right. The fifth dimension. Beautiful. Oh, I knew we'd have an interdimensional here. I used to pronounce Chicago as Chicago. That's funny. San Diego. Oh gosh. No politics, y'all. I don't care. Winnipeg. Oh, love that. New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans, man. Oh God, I love that city. Y'all don't understand. If you have never been to New Orleans, you've got to go. Living there may be different, but traveling there, I've always loved going there. It's a great city. A lot of history. Okay, so what are we going to be talking about today, guys? I'm going to be talking about Danny Sheehan's latest comments that he made on Engaging the Phenomena podcast with James Iandoli. Had them both on the podcast, James and Danny. And we're going to be going over, Ron James's interview on the Black Vault and with VETTED and all that, and kind of summing up everything there. And just UFO disclosure in general, because I've got some thoughts, y'all. This week taught me a lot. I'm gonna be honest. This week taught me a lot about this community, and how I think we should handle things moving forward. At least how I'm gonna handle it on this channel, which is all I can control. So, all right. Real quick, just because Hang on a second. I'm texting with Ron James right now. I asked him to come on the live stream. It was last minute. He couldn't come on. But just hang on one second. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, gosh. Okay, get focused here. You're live, Patrick. Jesus, you're live. There's people watching. Okay, here we go. So yeah, look, I asked Ron to come on, and look, I'm just gonna say it. Okay, like Ron's a little tentative to come on, and I'm not trying to reveal any private correspondence between him and I. Okay, but I think this needs to be said. And I wasn't gonna start here, but F it. Let's just start here. Okay. He's tentative to come on. Well, he's you know, a little weary to come on because of the backlash he got from coming on the first time, right? So I asked him to come on and do a live Q&A and answer questions, right? And when today said, well, hey, what about next week, right? And yes, he's telling me his concerns, and I got to be honest, I understand him 100%, y'all, right? Like it's a lot to put yourself in the crossfire when people don't. If if you have a problem with someone and you don't express that issue you have in a respectful way, of course it turns people off. Try it in real life. Just go scream at someone in their face and see if you can have a conversation with them afterwards, right? Like, so that's part of my bigger point in this live stream today is going to be that. Right? We're gonna look at Ron James's new photo that he shared on Black Vault's interview with John Greenwald. I'm also going to share the other picture, right, and some other stuff, kind of compare it, and we'll talk about it, right? Because if we're going to move forward, right, we need to allow people to show things and look into it. Well, he said this, and then and now he's who cares? Like he's showing, you know what I mean? He's showing things to us to look into, if that makes sense, right? We need to be able to have that. Can't be scaring people up. I mean, the comments were nasty and crazy. And I know I've already talked about it. I'm not trying to talk about it again, but now it's affecting the show in a negative way, right? Look, moving forward, and I don't know if I've ever made this clear, and I probably haven't, but a lot of what I do, my intent is show, right? Have people come on, talk, or do the videos I do, show everything, right, that I can. And then it gets vetted more by the audience. More people look into it, right? Because there's way more people, right? Way more eyeballs. So that was the idea with Ron coming on, right? And other people. You get them to open up and talk and just be real, right? The more information, we can vet it together, right? But to demean people for coming on and doing that. I mean, what do we want? I don't get it. Like, what do we want? We're crying that we want information. So look, that's all I'm saying. So moving forward, that's the idea. I want to present things here on the show and make it easier for the audience to dig in, right? Show as much as I can because I don't want to make a decision for you. I want you to make that decision for yourself, right? And look, to be fair to Ron, he did not really want to show those pictures on the podcast. He showed them, and then at the end, he was like, I don't know, let's blur them out. And I was like, just leave it. So that's on me at the end of the day. I feel bad for Ron because I feel like I convinced him to do that. Now he's his own person and he's his own man, and I'm sure he would say you can't convince me of anything. I did it myself. Whatever. Okay, I get it, but just from my perspective, right? I feel a little bad that I said, dude, leave it in. Let people see it. Right? Because think about it. It's free research. You're going to have thousands of people, tens of thousands that looked at this photo. I don't even know how many. It went it went everywhere, right? That first photo. So think about that. If this is what we want, right? We're trying to find the truth, disclosure, right? Let people show this stuff. We can dig into it. I don't see anything wrong with that. And if you want to attack, well, MUFON should have investigated before how did they not know and this and that? Who cares? We got to see it and we got to make our own choice about it. Right? That seems I would prefer that. Let me see it. I'll make my own choice. The videos, photos, right? Let's see them. So, look, that's all I want to say to the audience here watching. Let's just try to be a little more open for people to come on. Who cares why they're showing it or whatever? Who cares? Just have them show up. We'll dig into it. I had zero problems with the comments of people saying that photo's bullshit, right? When people saw Ron's photo and they said that photo's bullshit. That comment, everyone has rights on. It's the second part of the comment that I just don't agree with, which is how dare you show that photo? Sorry, I don't agree with it. We need to. And moving forward with Vetted, that's what I want. I want the community involved. We're vetters, right? Let's do this. Let's hear these stories. Let's see these photos. Let's see these videos. And we can get to work on it little by little. I don't see anything wrong with that. But we've got to be classy. We got to be cool and respectful for people to come on. Just think about inviting someone into your house. How do you treat them? They're your guests. I don't know how you grew up. Well, but it's the greatest discovery in humanity, Patrick. And so we stop being humans to each other? Like we stop being respectful to each other? I don't get it. What does that have to do with anything? And if that's going to be the sandbox we're going to throw down, then I have this to say about that. So you say it's the greatest discovery of mankind. Great. So you think it's going to be easy for us to get there? No, it's going to be a long, hard road. And we've got to put our big boy pants on and our big girl pants on and man up, woman up. And here's some things we may not like or agree with or whatever. We've got to sift through some stuff. And sometimes they're just interesting. Sometimes it can just be that. Everything doesn't have to be so damn serious either. But we've got to be open to having these conversations, y'all. So look, I haven't said this to Ron, but this is what I'm going to say to Ron. Ron, please, I'm going to have you on. We're going to do this. Let's show that we can have respectful conversations. In fact, I want to invite John Greenwald on. Let's start having these open dialogues. Let's be adults. We don't have to agree. We don't even have to agree on the conclusion of something. Someone can look at the photo and go, no, I think it's real. And the other person go, I don't think it is. Great. But if we're just going to be, the hate I got for having Ron on, it's just crazy. Like, what are we talking about? And don't worry, that's not going to affect me. We're going to move forward with it because overall, it was positive. It really was. Overall, it was positive. Overall, people did the right thing, which was they shared it and going, what do you think? And then when the figurines came out, people were sharing that too. As did I. And Ron also accepted it. I'm gonna be frank with you. Not a lot of people in this community would have done what Ron did. Just being honest. Most people would quadruple down on everything. They're never willing to admit that, oh, this isn't real, what I presented. But Ron was willing to go like, dude, you got to give the guy props. Like we got to give props where they're due. No one's perfect. No one claims to be. Neither are you watching. Neither am I. Right? But do we really want UFO disclosure? Do you really want to know the truth? Or are you just here to put people down? and make people pay for the sins of other people that have hurt you, right? Well, I've been grifted by these guys for 30 years. So, new guy, you're getting the same treatment. Like, look, I get the pain, I get the hurt, I get it. People lie to me every week in this community, straight to my face about experience and stuff. I know they're lying to me. What am I going to do? Throw them off a bridge? No, it's too hard to tell. The best thing we can do, so by default, the best thing we can do is take out our personal feelings, my own included, right? Let people come on and tell their story. Let people come on and show their evidence, their investigation, whatever it is, however crazy you think it is. And let me remind you, everything in the UFO community is batshit crazy. We're talking about fucking aliens here. Goddamn UFOs and interdimensional beings and cryptids and time travel and what the fuck? Consciousness and this. I mean, what the fuck? It's all fucking batshit crazy. So to be like, well, this is and this isn't, the mummies are bullshit, but this isn't over here. Like, what the fuck? We don't fucking know. Pardon my language. I'm sorry. That's the chef in me coming out. Let's just calm down, myself included, right? Calm down, Patrick. Let's just start looking at this evidence, letting people tell their stories, not judging them. Yeah, maybe you think they're lying. That's fine. But we need to let other people hear it to decide that. Right? I can't decide it for you. And neither can you decide it for somebody else. I support you making your own decision. You're an adult. I want you to make your own decision. And I'm going to do my best to bring you the best and most information I can to help you do that. Pretty simple. And yes, I want the VETTED community involved. Having that photo, Ron showing that photo, and then the internet going to work and doing what the internet does, it was awesome. That's what it's about. Let's keep doing that. And I still don't know who found that stuff. John doesn't even know. Greenwald. No clue. People just do it anonymously. Let them. They know tricks. They know it's just manpower. Right? We keep looking everywhere else for disclosure. Hey, guess what? We can do it. We don't need anybody else. So work as a collective. Doesn't even need to be that official or organized. Pretty simple. All right, come to VETTED. Let's do it. Let's throw it out. Let's vet it together. This idea that I'm going to do all this legwork behind the scenes by myself, put tens of thousands of dollars of my own money to investigate everything that comes out on the channel. I mean, what are you asking people to do? Any investigator, you want them to spend months of their life, years, all this money, present you the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, come on. That's a lot to ask for some of this. Some of it's entertainment. I hate to tell you. There are going to be documentaries, books, movies. It's just how it is. It's just part of it. Every industry has entertainment. Even politics. Politics is about government that runs our lives. Even that has entertainment. There's always an entertainment aspect to it. Because there's different goals as a creator, right? Or as someone who's researching or investigating. What kind of audience are you trying to reach? Just trying to tell the truth. To who? So look, bottom line, let's just be cool. Let's have these conversations. Let's have these people on. Let's all come together and talk about it. Let's stop fighting so much amongst each other. Let's just get to the truth. Because that's what I want to spend my time on. Right. And I know people like Ron do too. And John Greenwald. Right. And everyone else that looks into this. And you guys. Sitting at home. They don't have the time. You work a lot. You don't have time, right? Like you just want to turn on some videos, watch some stuff, catch up, right? Everyone's got a different expectation from this. So it's hard to sort of please everybody. So again, by default, the best option is to just be cool, respectful, and let's have conversations. That's going to be the most productive for the most people. And if you want to dig in more and find out more, then you do it. There's places for it. Our Discord, on VETTED, for sure. People dig into stuff all the time more, right? And it's not a ton, but I try to provide as many source links as I can for any video I do. Some have 2, some have 10, And again, if you want to dig further, you can, right? And look, there's a lot of great UFO channels out there providing different things, right? But this is what VETTED's going to do. This is what VETTED's going to provide, because VETTED is more than just me. VETTED has become a community of people, and I love that. But some people just watch VETTED, they just throw it on, and they don't know about the community, they don't read the comments, they don't know shit. They don't care, and I get it. That's how I watch most videos. I just watch the video, move on, maybe dig further if I like the thing, right? So, let's move on from that. Look, let's start showing some photos here. Yes, okay, what am I gonna throw up here? All right, first photo. Boom. This is the first photo that Ron showed on VETTED, right? Now, granted, initially I did not see this guy up against a tree, the third guy. But regardless, this photo, he flashes it, the internet goes to work, right? And what do? They find these little miniatures. This sort of fit, right? They're like, oh my God, this guy goes to that guy and this guy. And then you got this photo too, right? Like these are the guys from this photo, right? Okay. No problem. But that's all we have to go off of, right? Is the photo. Now, Ron has a whole investigation going with more than this. But just looking at the photo as a whole, hard to tell, right? Then Ron goes on John Greenwald's show, which was a great conversation, by the way. John is great, man. I support both those guys. Love John Greenwald. Had him on twice. Absolutely support what he does. And he asked some great questions, and they had a great conversation. And that, again, that's what it's about. So he shows this picture right here. Now, I had seen this picture before, okay, in all transparency. Just either the day before or 2 days before, Ron had sent it to John and I. As sort of context, like, hey, here's some other pictures, like the like this one, right? Now, I'll be honest, when I saw this one in my email, I was like, those are figurines. I mean, immediately. It did not even, because this guy back here, it's hard to tell. This is not even in my email. It looked even better. And this is the photo from my email, but it still looked crisper. And you could tell this guy in the back was a little figurine. Like it looked. And if you look under the UFO, that looks like dominoes. Right now, Ron says he had the photo looked at by Michael Schratt, I think is the guy's name. And he said that's what they would have used to hold something like that back in the day. But I disagree. Well, I mean, I'm not an expert, right? But just me looking at those look like dominoes underneath it, right? This looked fake to me. It did. What do you want me to say? Does it mean it's fake? I don't know. No, just that's my gut reaction, right? It did the depth of field and like the way the lighting is and the way his body is, like that just nothing about it. Right. We're programmed. We're human beings. We can spot other human beings. It's that uncanny valley thing from movies and CGI. Like you don't know why it's wrong. You just know it's wrong. You know it's off. It's just that, right? It just whatever. Right. So I see this and I think, oh yeah, these are figurines, man. You know. But Ron says, look, there's more to the story. And I get it. Context is important because then I find out the story gets crazier. John Greenwald brings this up. He says, look at this picture. This is from the Lonnie Zamora UFO case, and the Army made this diorama, right? Fake, right? To sort of enact the scene. Now, supposedly, potentially is made by Blue Book, right? And they made this. So then the question became, where are these dioramas of the actual UFO event? Does that make sense? So they're not the actual photographs, but they're photographs of the diorama they made, like this one that the Army made, right? I don't know. But what I do know is these are, in my opinion, 100% figurines. This and this. This is not real. Right? In my opinion. But when you take into consideration this part, okay, so I'm open. Ron said there's more to the story, more to reveal. So I'll wait till all the information's out. Right? But you make the decision on your own. Right? And it's almost like there's more parts to it. You've got the story as a whole and then these photographs individually. So you could say, well, the photographs are bullshit, but the story as a whole, well, who knows? Right? Because there is way more photos. There was material. Go check out the interview with John Greenwald and Ron. So again, it's a great conversation. So yeah, me personally, I'm open to it, but you get to decide for yourself. And that's what we do. Provide the information, let you know, hey, there's this MUFON symposium. Hey, there's a stream where you can see more. Hey, there's this documentary. What's wrong with letting people know that stuff? You don't have to do it. You can think it's bullshit all you want. But then to go further and say, how dare you show that? What? Let's give all the information. What if people want to go see that? What if people want to go to the MUFON symposium? What if people want to pay the money to see the stream? Let them. No one's forcing you to do it. But let's not go down that road here because Vetted is not going to be like that. So you can put those kind of comments all day long. I'm not going to respond to that. We have to be able to show this stuff. So there you go. This is interesting, right? The fact that Blue Book did make a diorama. And then you've got these dioramas. Are they the same? Here's what I would say is potentially, right? This one, you can clearly see like this pole holding up the UFO, right? And the car, it just, looks fake, right? This one, to me, has the same sort of style of like purposely fake. Look at the dominoes underneath, right? Like, let's use dominoes to hold it up because otherwise it's going to what? Turn over, right? That's to stabilize it, to make sure it just stays steady. They're not even like evenly spaced where they would be something technically you would set on. Does that make sense? They're just literally just thrown in there, But yeah, this fucking dominoes. This is probably hubcaps, I guess. I don't know, whatever it is. But is that possible? Sure. I don't know. I'd never heard of this. This is a whole new side to this that I never heard. The dioramas, of setting up a scene. And that's interesting. That does change things when it comes to these photos. So to Ron's credit, I understand why he wants to keep this, look into it further. Right? That's what we need. Let him look into it further. What the fuck do you care? Like, it has made me so angry over the last week. Hearing those and hearing it everywhere from a lot of people. Let's let him look in. Let's look into it, right? I'll be honest. On this one, I don't know. There's really not much to do on this one. To me, but yeah, let people look in. Maybe they'll find this figurine. Is he in one of these? I don't think so. Right? So it must be another figurine. What we need to do is find this hubcap. Somebody find this hubcap. There it is. It's probably two of them put together. But I don't know. Hubcaps are interesting. I've worked with hubcaps. I worked with tires for a long time in my, from 18 to 20. A long time, a couple years. I mean, that was a long time ago, but I don't know. It also doesn't look like a hubcap or another, like this piece being another part, like the longer piece that sticks out, like that being another part of it. like a third piece, like 2 hubcaps and something else in the middle, like a record. Oh, dude, oh my God. It looks like a record. Looks like a hubcap on the bottom, a record in the middle, and then another hubcap on top of that. I don't know. Am I wrong there? That's what just right now. That's something that middle black piece that's sticking out. Doesn't that look like a record? Like if you were to set right dominoes, upside down hubcap, vinyl record, another hubcap. I don't know. Again, we're just betting here publicly. You know, don't shoot the messenger. But again, I love that Ron wants to look into this more and provide more. I support that 1,000%. I can't like the most percent you could support something. I do. And I'm going to be there at the symposium. I want to hear the rest of the details of the story. I want to hear more about dioramas and how that works. And are more UFO cases set up that way? Right? That would be interesting. What if we find out, that diorama is based off of a real UFO event? Would that be the craziest thing you ever heard? Again, it's all batshit crazy. So it's in a way, it's kind of all open to keep looking into. Oh, that'd be crazy. Why would they do that? Okay, that would be crazy, but aliens subconsciously, telepathically communicating with us is not crazy. I mean, get out of here. What are we talking about? Right? So again, I'm all for it. Let's look into it. Let's find out more. Let's do it. And again, I hope Ron does reconsider to come on, only because I want to show him that we can ask nice, respectful questions as vetters, right, as an audience, and treat them with respect. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated, but I just wanted to make that known. We've got to be open to having these conversations and moving forward and investigating these things. We can't be just shutting people down. We can't expect people to invest a ton of money, time, energy, right? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. We want the truth, but we want it easy and free and whatever. Like, I get that the truth of reality should be free to know, but the journey to get there isn't free, unfortunately. If that makes sense, right? The journey to get to that truth that I agree should be free, it's not free. Test flights, going to places, investigating, boots on the ground. What do you think? This stuff costs money, data, research, investigations, testimony. Like, what? I mean, let's be realistic here, right? We've got to be realistic as well. We can get all woo all we want. The aliens will disclose to us through telepathy. Okay, great. But most of us, we want evidence. And we've just got to be realistic. And if people are willing to investigate this stuff, we've got to support them. So I'm all about it. So look, let's go you know what? Let me check the chat real quick. I haven't looked at the chat this whole time. I don't even know if I should. Hang on a second. Someone's claiming to be Ron. Is that Ron? Hang on. Oh, that is Ron. Hang on. I'm gonna verify. Ron, I have to verify that's you in the chat, dude, because we do have other people pretending to be other people coming in. Luella is not, you name it, right? Everyone has come in claiming to be sometimes, so we have to be careful. So I am texting Ron right now. Hopefully he'll text me back. He's texting me back. Let's see here. um, okay. I'm gonna send him the link right now. That is Ron in the chat, y'all. Okay. That is the real Ron. Okay, Ron, I'm gonna send you the link here. Let's see. I think he might come on right now. Let's find out. And I have a clip of Danny Sheehan I do want to play. And I sent okay, he wants me to send it through email. And I sent Danny Sheehan's people an email to get Danny back on again. Love to have another conversation with him too as well. Because I got to be honest, he's been saying a lot of things I agree with lately, and I'd like to dive in further. So I'll show you a clip a little bit here, and I'll let you know. All right, Ron. Sorry, brother. Hang on. Okay. Boom. 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 And sorry, Ron, I didn't see your messages from earlier. Clearly, I was live streaming. All right, just send it to your email, Ron. All right, he's going to grab a coffee and then join us. Yeah, take your time, Ron. No worries, man. All right, Ron's going to come on. Very cool, man. Look at that. Love that. And again, let's be nice to Ron, y'all, right? We're going to ask him some good questions. I'm only going to put up nice, respectful questions, by the way. So if you're going to come in and say something nasty, I mean, literally, I will not stand for it for 1 second. I just don't have time for that, y'all. Come on, we're adults. I'm in my 40s. Do you think I have time for this bullshit? You're crazy. Very cool. And look, I asked Ron last minute for this. I sent him a text like 10 minutes before the live stream, to be fair to him. So I really do appreciate Ron coming on right now. Like, super cool. Did not have to do that, y'all. That's the thing. These people he doesn't have to do this. Yes, what Jessica said right here. Jessica, great point right here. If you put it in all caps, I'll bring it up. We'll get Ron to answer. And thank you, everyone, for watching and tuning in. And let me just say this. I've kind of just focused on the negative stuff. 95% of vetted comments, audience, Discord, chat, is positive and awesome. I would have squashed that a long time ago if it wasn't. Just sometimes that 5% can get a little loud and overtake. But respectfully, the vetted community is amazing. That is the truth. Amazing conversations happen all the time. And the chat and comments are generally, again, positive, great. So thank you to y'all watching, hanging out. I appreciate it. And the mods, we have great mods. That's probably why, if I'm being honest. The mods really do a great job of keeping everything cool. So shout out to them guys that work really hard doing this stuff. Okay, Vetted is not an easy channel probably to mod for, if I'm being honest. Okay. Because yeah, I don't know why, but somehow I or this channel is a little divisive. I'm not sure why. Yeah, the debate last night, they did not ask a UFO question. I did watch, waiting to hear that. I thought it was 50-50. They just didn't, they were focused on other things. I have a friend who does crypto for a living. I guess that's what you say. Like, what? That's his job. He was hoping for a crypto question. All right, guys, we got Ron in the house. What's up, brother? I can't hear you, Ron. Your mic is out. Hang on. Yeah, do your thing. Your camera's great though. Take your time. Yes, Ron is in the house, y'all. Again, put y'all's questions in all caps, and we'll see however many we can get to, y'all. But first, I'm gonna let Ron just kind of for a
All
moment,
right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. What's up, brother?
Hey, I have something to say to everybody out there. We shared reluctantly some images from an ongoing investigation. And I'm glad that people were able to figure out what was up with that image, because it would have taken me a really long time to find those models. And frankly, you saved me a bunch of time. I think it says something really positive about the power of the investigative body of the internet. But what I don't like is being lambasted for being out of integrity when I never was. I never said, hey, I believe this is a picture of something. I said this is something that was submitted to us, and whatever the outcome of this investigation is, we're going to be the first ones to share the truth. So let me say, I agree that I went through this stuff. I looked at these models, and at first I was within the crowd of, well, these guys, they look similar, but not exact. Then when we realized that there was a third guy in the shot, and he had his arm extended out exactly like was in this model kit, that was it for me. I agree with the guys that say that this is a diorama made from a model kit. So I did some more research, and it's one thing that's even worse. This model kit was not released by this company until 1984. So even the idea that it was a military diorama built around the time that one Galati Zamora crash site we know was by Project Blue Book people, that even seems to be ruled out. So yeah, that image is bogus. I totally agree with everybody that found that out. And this other image that I just shared on Black Vault, does anybody think I shared that so that I can take another shot at convincing something was real? It's another image that I welcome the internet to look at and help me. It has. I have no attachment to an outcome that is not true. And one thing that I got from all of this, besides realizing very nasty people out there that should shut up, I realize that the internet has a lot of power, and that we have the ability to literally crowdsource investigations. And so there's other cases that we're working on that I'm considering putting out some of this stuff as well for people to look at, because frankly, it saves me a lot of time. Now, the Wayne Sturgill story about how his father supposedly flew from the squadron and supposedly shot down a UFO, there are still things that are very compelling about the story. I haven't given up. But as we evaluate individual pieces of evidence, whatever the outcome of those pieces of evidence is, we're going to be supportive of. So all these people out there that are accusing me of whatever they want to accuse me of, let's have a talk about that in private, because I just don't like.
Yeah, well said. I couldn't agree more, man. And I'm glad you came on to be able to say that. I, didn't want to speak for you, so yeah, I totally agree. And that would be cool to.
Yeah, cage match with Ron James.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, look, I'm not going to sit here and take this crap from people. You want to say things to me online that you would never say to me if you were sitting in a room. If that's the case, you need to shut up. Period.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Without a doubt, people got very nasty, and it was absolutely uncalled for. There's no question. I will say
talk
that
about this case or some of the other cases. I'd be really happy to do that.
Yeah, no, that's what I appreciate about you. Right. I hope this changes things too. Like, there's some momentum. Okay, we got some backlash at first. Oh, it's a new thing. Nobody's really doing that, right? So, and the fact that you're willing to accept the results, I got to be honest, that is different, because there's a lot of people in this community who would have just tripled down on the picture, no matter what was said about it. I'm all for hearing the entire story, right? That's why. Yeah, man. So look, I do like the idea of, if you wanted ever to on your own, right, on MUFON, right, you show whatever you got coming up, or getting the internet to work with you. I love that idea. I think that's great. I'm all for that, man. I support that. I totally get it. It's free research, right? It's people go to town and will work harder will work harder to prove something wrong than to prove something right. that's just the reality of the human psychology. So we can sort of use that to our advantage. What do you think of this other photo, Ron?
So, this is another photo that came in the tranche of pictures. And what I should remind people of is this guy says that he got a lot of different photos over a period of time, supposedly sent to him by the same guy, and that this is just another one of them. Now, we also know that a lot of times misinformation is buried with information, like Stanton Friedman said about the MJ12 papers. Half of them are true. So again, this is another image that was included in the stuff that he gave me. And, that there's a good case that it's fake too. Although I have to say, Michael Schratt said that those little things that everybody's saying are dominoes are consistent with things that he's seen in other photos of military putting wreckage on stuff. But I don't have any preconceived feelings about this image. It's just another one that was included in the stuff, and I don't have an opinion. And the reason that I went ahead and floated this after all the crap I caught for the last one is because, hey, if this is another fake image, come on, guys, help me figure it out. I am not an internet detective. I never would have found those figurines in that past image.
Me neither. Totally.
Not years. So here's another image. If you guys can validate it, great. If you can point out that it's definitely a fake, that's great too. And more power to the people that are trying to be constructive and wade through this mystery.
Yeah, I agree. Look, so Michael Schratt is saying that other wreckage he has seen in photos, they use this sort of white, and maybe it's not white. Technically, it is a black and white photo
with other images that he's seen.
I mean, look, it does look like domino. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it. It's that guy in the background. That doesn't look like a real person.
He looks a little fake, doesn't he? Yeah. But the other thing is you have these weird pieces of truss and this cable hanging down, and what looks like spotlights maybe down in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know where that truss would be coming out of the wall like that. And I don't know what the piece of vertical truss is. It doesn't look like some kind of military warehouse. But I'm on the fence of whether this is fake or not. I tend to think if one of them was fake, then the rest of them are going to be fake too. So we just need to go through them one at a time and figure it out. I'm not out here trying to tell the community this is a real picture of a flying saucer in a warehouse. I would never 100%. Do that if I thought it was true.
Absolutely. 100%. Totally agree. And at the end of the day, I'm not an expert either. Just gut, right? Just my gut tells me that guy, just something about that guy doesn't look right. And those do look like dominoes. It looks like an upside down hubcap, or a vinyl record, and then another hubcap on it. But again, I don't know anything.
I think that might be getting a little stretchy. But hey,
absolutely, totally.
But you know what? I bet you that if that is a vinyl record, it's only a matter of very short period of time before somebody out there is going to be able to tell us what album it is and who is.
You're right.
They're going to say, "Oh man, can't you tell? That's Led Zeppelin 4."
Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
So look,
I appreciate you doing it. That's what I want other people to get to.
Wayne Sturgill's story is very complex, and it has to do with his mom being an experiencer. It's all in the book Ominous that he has self-published. It's not widely published, but now that everybody knows where the story came from, I don't mind talking about that. When I decided to investigate Wayne's claims, I wanted to stay focused on the story he tells about his father being a pilot for this squadron that was doing this work. I didn't really want to delve into the history, all of the other experiencer phenomenon and the other things he talks about in his book. So that is why when I brought out the story of the fighter pilot and the secret squadron, supposedly, we didn't go into the other details, and I didn't go into where the story came from, because Wayne isn't ready to go public, and his story is way broader than just the stuff that I chose to focus on. So I don't have any qualms about the fact that I didn't parade Wayne out in front of everybody. And now that he's had a glimpse of what this community is going to do to him if he comes forward and starts trying to talk, I'm not gonna participate in his slaughter at all.
Sure.
So
Sure.
he's
Yeah,
my
I get it.
opinion of him is that he's a very salt of the earth guy. There is something going on with his case. His family's been struggling with it for years. There's way more to it than just a couple of pictures of dioramas. I've got over 60 images, and some of which are compelling and some of which are probably just like these last ones. But at the end of the day, it's going to be up to him to come forward. John Greenwald asked me to reach out and see if he'd go on the show, and I did. But I don't think he's going to want to step forward until people have read his book and he has more of an ability to take the temperature of the public. Because God, man, I'm in the UFO field. I know what it's like. I'm the media relations director for MUFON, so I know what it feels like to have a target on your back and be constantly abused by this crowd. But I wouldn't wish it on somebody like him who is innocent in a way.
Sure, I get it. Yeah, I mean, look, that stuff isn't going away in this community.
It's not going away.
Soon.
So let's give it some time. Let's continue to investigate the Red Wing story.
Exactly.
I found out
people
more
are just going to have to lean into it
about this squadron. That supposedly was flying the F-94s and supposedly had an encounter where one of them was shot down. So that story is still chugging along. But I've also pressed Wayne for his father's military records, and I pretty much told him, if we can't get the military records and you can't prove to me that the story about your father being in these military services at these times is correct, that's going to be the stopping point for me, and it should be.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. See,
I'm not saying that I'm going to be publicly dismissing his story. I'm just going to say that, it's kind of like you reach a point where, okay, this is one very, very critical piece of evidence, and I'm waiting. And that's where we're at right now. Military records. There's a little bit of things that he's given me, like pictures of his dad in different uniforms and blah, 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 but that's not good enough. At this point in time, we need something solid, and he could reach out to the Defense Department and get some kind of records that the rest of us can't get. So hopefully he does that and we can move on with the investigation. Otherwise, I'm setting that one into the gray box.
Yeah, I love it. Look, I get it. You're going to have to invest time and money. So you need to make sure, okay, is this next fork in the road worth it to me to go? So I get it, right? Like I get it from your perspective. I would do the same thing, like absolutely. So,
Look, I saw one image out of 60 that is debunked. Yeah, okay. If there's still compelling elements to it, we'll move on and see. But if it's too much stuff that doesn't add up, because honestly, that image not being genuine, it's the first part of the thing so far that hasn't added up. So if things keep not adding up, then obviously the whole story doesn't add up, and it's time to put your attention somewhere else.
Sure, I get it. Look, one of the pictures that that you sent with this one, actually, right? This one you sent John and I another one, like for whatever. That one was compelling. That one was like, oh shit, that one was compelling. So I do want people to know.
Do you have it?
Yeah. I just didn't want to show it because you did.
Well, if I showed it on John Greenwald's show, it's out there. So yeah, let's take a look at it.
That one was like, okay, this is because it doesn't look anything like these dioramas. All right, give me a second here. Like at all. It's the one of the triangle.
Are we talking the lights?
No, here I'll where is it? Oh yeah, right here. Okay, hang on. It's over a city in the clouds, and there's a triangle craft.
That was one of the images that's in there. There's another one too of supposedly 5 flying saucers flying over the Portland area. They're unrelated, but yeah, let's see if you can find that image.
Oh, yeah, I have it here.
I still have it.
No, I got it here. I'm going to I just got to convert it real quick. For some reason, StreamYard is so weird with you can't put up JPEGs or anything, and you have to make everything a PDF. It's like, what?
Wow.
I mean, what, like, we're in a different
Well, you
time
know, you
here.
can bring it up on your screen and you can share the screen. That works too.
That's true. Like bring it up as a slide because then it's just get the full thing. Okay, I got it right here. All right, so I don't know. I don't think you've shown this before, Ron. That I don't think you showed this on John's show. So I just want to make sure you're okay to show this. I'm gonna see if it comes up here, and you'll be able to see it at the bottom, so you'll know which one it is. Because I don't want to. Okay, can you see this one down here, Ron? At the bottom, it's that one. You can kind of probably tell from the.
Where would I see it?
Down at the bottom here. Do you not see the different slides? Do you not have it?
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's no way to show it to you privately, is there? I mean, look, you sent it to John and I and said, "Hey, this picture." So I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, put it up. Let's see what we're talking about.
All right. Here we go. This picture.
Oh yeah, so that picture was included in the images that was sent to Wayne that he
This is
shared with
compelling.
me.
This is
Again,
compelling.
you know what's compelling? Anybody could fake that in Photoshop any day of the week. Supposedly, it is an image of craft over, he said, the capital of Oregon, I think is what he said. But yeah, so there's a few images like that. In fact,
I mean, this one isn't like the diorama. That's what I mean. Why it's compelling, because it's still there's something that, right? Like these other ones to me, just that one is a little more compelling, but this one definitely to me just not. But
yeah, but you know, none of this stuff is conclusive.
It's I don't think it's Photoshop. I'm not, I have worked with Photoshop a lot. I zoomed in on this myself and kind of looked at it. It's definitely, in my opinion, there in real time. Like it's not Photoshop, but now what is it? I don't know. But
Yeah,
and
so
if you zoom in even further, there's little black dots around it too, Ron. Did you see those? The little black little like orbs around it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
Look, here's, you know what? Let me just throw a couple more of these out here. Again, let me stress, these are images that were given to me. Even Wayne is not saying, oh yes, these are absolutely real. We're trying to figure it out, all of us together. So give me a break. If you want me to show a good point. Images, you have to understand, I am not saying that I believe that these are anything. I'm putting them out there for discussion. I am not perpetrating, I'm not trying to sell anybody a bill of goods, and I never have. So the fact that I'm going even further out on a limb and sharing this stuff with you guys, I hope you appreciate it.
I agree. and that's a good point to bring up about Wayne. He also states, hey, I don't know if these are right. So that is a fair point to bring up.
Even in his book, he pointed that out to me in an email because I'm talking to him because he's watching this, and frankly, scaring the heck out of him what they're doing to me over it. So this is another image that came in the Wayne Sturgill collection. It is supposedly flying saucers over the Oregon woods.
How can we share that? Can you share your screen here? I don't know. Are you emailing it to me?
No, I'm trying to share the screen. Hold on.
I never had anyone else share the screen on here. I don't know how to do that.
Well, once I share it, it should take over my feed.
Okay. Oh, got it.
So now on your end, you should be able to show it because it's being shared.
No, I don't see anything. Oh, wait, hang on.
Do you have,
I do. Never mind. Here we go. I got it.
All right. So this is another photo in the Sturgill case. Supposedly, I think he said it was taken by his father, but don't quote me on it. So, that's another one that came out of this.
Wow. Okay.
And again, I'm just telling
full transparency, guys. I have not seen this before, so I'm also seeing this for the first time right now. So
I haven't shared it with anybody yet. So this is another one. Again, this is a tranche of photos. Some of them were delivered to him at different times. The story is that right after his father died, he started getting envelopes mailed to his sister and his brother and him, and that these envelopes had collections of images and oh wow, thank you, Lewis. He had collection. Lewis, send me your email and let me give you a free subscription to MUFON Television. That's a wonderful thing for you to do.
Look at that.
And I'd like to do something for you. So some of these images came at different times, and some of them have different provenance. And so this is just another image in the Wayne Sturgill collection. And you know what? While we're at it, let me share a couple more. Why not? I'm happy to do it.
Love it.
You know, as long as you guys understand what this is, you know, it's not like Ron James going, "Oh, look, UFOs, they're real, blah, blah, blah." It's not, I'm not doing that. I'm sharing with you guys some material from an ongoing investigation. This is
Louis, if you can't get a hold of Ron, you know, reach out to us too. We'll connect you guys. Like, don't worry about any of that. So just know that as well.
All right. So here's another one that is in the collection.
Okay, guys, here we go.
All right. So according to Wayne, this is a picture of this guy right here is Chuck Black, the man who was sending him the information after his dad died. This picture was supposedly taken by his dad. This guy right here is supposed to be the photo film analyst that was involved in taking the gun camera footage from the squadron in Oregon, shuttling it to Wright-Patterson and developing film of pertinent gun camera footage. This is the story I've been told. I'm not saying that I am backing this. I'm just sharing the information that was conveyed to me. You guys make up your own minds. This guy right here is supposed to be the pilot that died the day the UFO shoot down occurred. And this guy right here is supposedly another one of the pilots that was in this secret squadron. Now, was there a secret squadron? Well, the F-94 jet was a state-of-the-art jet at the time of this. And we found that there was a squadron of F-94 jets in Portland at this airport at the time, part of a civil air defense wing. And so the history that this squadron existed and that these jets were flown, you know, it's out there. Let me see what else I got here.
Wow.
Oh,
that's a nice clear picture too.
Yeah. So, all right. So now the debris element of this. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys some stuff, and you can make up your own minds. They received a box. The family received a box, and again, I'm just telling the story that was told to me. As part of all the other stuff that they were getting, they got a box delivered to them. And bear with me, I'm just trying to fix this up so I can get to these images faster.
Sure. A box of debris from this initial shoot down where the pilot died, right? Where a pilot died.
Yes. Supposedly, this is a box of debris that was sent to them.
Wow. Okay, guys. This has not been shown before. All right.
Well, again, you know,
Ron is not saying this is real, right?
BS, then it's all BS, right? But there's a lot of stuff on here. This is a picture of this box. Can you see it?
Yes.
You can see that this is a box. The photo's pretty old, sent to his sister. Okay, and this is a picture of the box. Inside the box, every time I click on a different image, it makes me reset the screen. I mean, you know, I'm sure that people out there that are watching this can understand why I find this a very compelling case. And I'm happy to acknowledge that there was something wrong with that image, because it was. You're not going to stick your neck out. But there's more to this. So this is the contents of the box. Included in it was a set of aviator glasses that dated back to the time in question, a binocular case that had all this stuff put in it, and these weird pieces of debris that were supposedly from the crash. Now, I have close-ups of these images of the debris, but they're pretty lackluster. And of course, as always happened, what happened to the debris? The box was stolen. Um, and I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Here's a picture of the.
Now the family is saying the box got stolen from them.
Yeah, and
right?
and
Wayne and
they
his
said
family.
that. Okay, so what the story is that the brother who has passed away now took this box of materials and buried it on his property and really left it there for quite some time. This is the story that I was told. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
you know, I keep having to caveat myself. I'm sorry.
I know. No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to. It's all good.
So after a period of time, they decided they were going to start trying to put together how they're going to get this information out to people. Before the brother passed away, they were gonna start working on a book or a documentary or something. So he went out onto his property and he dug up the debris. And he was in town actually getting some of the photos copied. And they were kind of moving towards, okay, we're going to get this stuff analyzed, etc. And this is a police report that they filed that is supposedly about the box being stolen out of their car. And so, you know, I'm like, come on, give me a break. But, you know, this, the police report itself is about a case of something being stolen out of the car.
Sure.
It's an interesting piece of whatever providence to add to it, but you know, I'd much rather have the box.
Well, of course,
But,
absolutely.
you know, and there's a date.
Has there been any updates on that? Like on the police report? Like, did they hear back and anything, or the case is closed now? Or because this was what in the 90s?
Stole something off the front seat of your car. They're not even getting.
I mean, yeah, you're screwed. I've had my car stolen, and yeah, it's.
But maybe the Internet Sleuth Squad can help me find the date here. I know there's a date on here somewhere for when this happened.
That's a good question. It's hard for me to see the details on it, but someone will zoom in on it and you know, someone's going to screenshot it, zoom in on it, and try to figure that out. You know, I don't know. I don't know enough about police reports and stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So,
but look,
it looks like
interesting.
02/19/01. It looks like the date that would have been 2001, which is consistent with the story. This thing's been tinkering around their family for a long time. So we have a police report from 2001 talking about supposedly this box of materials got stolen. There's a bunch of pictures of the individual materials. None of them are conclusive or show anything that can be, you know, counted upon to be incontrovertible evidence.
What does it look like? Like metalish or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Or what do you think?
Here's one of the pictures. It's just mangled metal.
Got it.
Which again, none of this proves anything on its own. We have a picture of a box of what delivered. Okay, but then where's the box? Oh, it got stolen, and here's a police report. You know, it's like too much coincidence on the wrong side of things. But
why would the guy spend years just sort of like
breadcrumbing
them with information?
Patrick, to put together a hoax like this that literally spans 20, 30 years. I mean, really, that's quite a stretch. So I don't know, you know, again, we have there's a bunch of other stuff in here. There's letters from the guy. This is when his father died. His dad used to tell him all this stuff, like, you know, he was a secret agent and he had to report stuff in certain ways. And when his father died, he found this curled up in the window of the house that his father lived in. It's a code sheet, a real deal code sheet, consistent with the period. And what they would use these for is these are I'm sure people out there can help me with this. The code sheets were used to establish secure communications and to use and break codes. This is a legitimate piece of intelligence memorabilia that he found in his dad's house. So
is this a legend, not a message?
I mean, yeah, I think that's exactly right. He says that it's a legend, not a message. It's called a code sheet. It's used to do that. And what he said, also something that the 1932 was a number that was associated with his dad's social security number, supposedly, or some number that was identifiable to his dad. So this is an interesting thing. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, absolutely. So am I also correct in saying that the father, well, the Sturgills, right? That's the whole family name, right? The Sturgills. They also had other experiences outside of the father, right? It's not
Yeah,
just the
apparently
father that has had
his
experiences.
mom was one of the people that multiple witnesses that saw the Oregon UFOs. Wayne says he's seen UFOs. None of that would be too hard to believe. All right, so here's one of the letters that he received in the first tranche. It says, I hope this letter is more inspirational than our phone conversation. My intention is to keep the promise I made to your father. And that promise was to let his family know the truth about his involvement with Project Blue Book. I'm looking for someone in your family who will take me serious. Note the bad grammar. And I hope you are the one. If not, then I plan to give it all to Wayne and Cheryl. So he sent this to Wayne's brother, who is since deceased. But I do feel this is a man-to-man thing. I don't know if you realize how important this is. I think at this point it's best we don't meet, but I would love to call you again or have you send me a letter if you like. I have a lot of photos of UFOs that I can't take with me. I'm trying to get the negatives out to your brother and sister, but I've been a little sidetracked lately. The films I want to send need to be put on video or they will be damaged. I will keep my promise to you and not contact your mother. I understand, Philip. Please reconsider your feelings on this matter. And it's signed Chuck Black. Now, the guy, Chuck Black, is supposed to be the dude that reached out to the family. And Wayne said that when he met him, he revealed that his real name wasn't Chuck Black, it was Charles Blake. And he said that the squadron that they flew for, the secret squadron, was called the Red Wings. And that's the name Wayne used. Well, I just found out recently that the name for the squadron of F-94 jets in Oregon was actually the Red Hawks. And it really existed, and they really flew that plane. And shortly in 1955, the squadron of F-94s was disbanded, theoretically after the crash. So, I'm telling you, this story gets very interesting. So then we started investigating Charles Blake. And it's like, well, what can we find out about him? And we found a newspaper article. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. So getting information about records from the 1950s is pretty difficult. But one of the people that's helping investigate this found this article. This is an article about the Blake family. And in it, it says serving in the armed forces are the three sons of Mr. and Mrs. Charles Blake. There was a Charles Blake Jr. who is in the lower left. And it says that he was in the Army Air Corps. Okay. So that's corroborating evidence that this Charles Blake guy actually existed, and this was all in Oregon. So there we go.
Is the picture, the one picture you showed that was, all the guys in the
let's
communications room, right?
Yeah, let's compare.
It's supposed to be the same guy, right?
It's supposed to be the same guy. It's supposed to be the guy that was sitting down. Now, obviously, we can't tell 100% for sure. So, anybody out there that has an opinion, it looks like it could be the guy.
I can't tell, honestly. Which guy on this picture you're showing me is supposed to be
the guy in the lower left.
Oh, lower left. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's just hard for me to tell, honestly.
Let me see if it'll zoom in. All right, so everybody, take your freeze frames of this, and I'll bring up the other picture. All right. Now, this is great, man.
I love it. This is awesome. This is what it should be like. Yeah.
Live, right?
Dude, I'm in. This is awesome. I'm with you. I'm with you, dude. This is awesome.
Pack away your nasty grams and let's roll up our sleeves and get busy on this. I need all.
I'm with you, dude. Well said. Roll up your sleeves and let's get at it. Are any of the Blake brothers still alive?
Not that we've been able to find. There's been a little bit of genealogy research, but again, there's everybody's busy and this stuff takes time and energy.
Of course.
This is as close to the existence of a Charles Blake as we've been able to get. But there was a guy with that name, and
and he's that. You're right.
Oddly enough, the pictures that I took of my video camera from the first time I met him, which is a horrible way to do this, but they turned out better than some of the scans. So here's this picture again of the alleged Charles Blake, and he's the guy sitting. So, let's take a look at this. Is it possible that it's the guy? I think it's possible.
Oh yeah, it's still possible. You have to just
Also,
compare,
anybody
but
out there, what's that logo on his sleeve? If anybody can help figure that out.
yeah, good
It
call.
doesn't look like a military logo, but he looks like he's dressed in everybody in this shot is in military clothes. So is that some
Well,
kind of, yeah, if we can figure out what that is. Looks like a
also
star.
the image in the back, right? Like there's like a document up posted on the wall, like maybe someone can get in on that. There's buttons, just a room like this. There's documents on the table. Yeah, there's a lot of information here to like try to decipher more from this, to be honest
Yeah,
with
so
you,
what does
which is
this
cool.
sign up here say? It says something, something jobs. And these look like, they look like keys or, oh no, these are,
Oh,
is
they
there,
are the little tags, those little like circular tags. You know what I mean?
yeah, but don't you,
Metal.
don't you, wouldn't people hang those on boards? Like, I don't know, there's something about this that is significant, but I don't know what it is. And
Well,
here's
up
something,
top it says A, B, C, D, E, right? That's
yeah.
what it says, right? So they're maybe it's looks like it says hard jobs, and they're like you finish a job and you go put the
Oh,
thing up,
yard jobs,
or
maybe.
yard jobs. That could be it too. I don't know.
So
That
anyway, this
is
is
it.
supposedly the guy that sent these
I thought
letters.
they were buttons or lights back there, but you kind of make me change my mind. That you're right. It looks like there's something you hook onto something
And I think
in
this
the
is
back.
the scan that I sent him to Staples to have professional, high quality scans done, and they did a terrible job. The scans were all blown out. But another part of the story is that there's a picture of an alien
Yes,
that I
that he
have. I don't know
smuggled
if I'm
out,
showing
right?
it. But the picture of the alien was, this is what he was told to me again. This
Let's
picture
just
of the supposed
let's see
alien.
it, Ron. Let's just
No
see it.
way,
Come on.
man. I'm not.
Come on.
Yeah, I've got to see what happens.
I
What I
gotta
can
ask.
tell
You know
you,
what I mean? I gotta ask.
I sent the picture of the alien to a couple of people, and one of them who is, I'm not even going to. All right, so I received back a couple of images that looked like it could be the same creature, and it came from somebody who we all know that is very well connected. But I can't come out with that yet because I don't have permission from him to show the images widespread.
Sure.
He said keep them in the inner circle. I'll send them to you, but we can't disseminate them.
Okay.
But anyway, the story is, and this is a heck of a story, that this guy right here was the in charge of going back and forth to Wright-Patterson whenever they had gun camera footage of significance. He would go and they would develop the images at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And part of the process was when he's in the darkroom and he's in the photo lab in this section, it was strip search on your way out. Well, this guy apparently wanted to get some of the images out of Wright-Pat. So the story is that he grew his hair long in the front so he could comb it over a bald spot, and he taped a negative to his head and combed his hair over it and smuggled some images out of Wright-Patterson. And supposedly we have these. This is a story which I thought was preposterous, but honestly, who could make this stuff up? Okay, especially we're dealing with something now that's spanning almost 30 years of
Sure.
anecdotal occurrences. So anyway, I was thinking about that, and then I looked at the picture of this guy and look at his hair; it's combed back, long and combed back, and I thought that's kind of weird.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, look, that's interesting. That's enticing. That's a spy move, right? Like, over the top, hide that picture out. Yeah, it's the matter. That's not what you question. It's, well, where's the picture that he smuggled? That's all that really matters. The story, whatever. Like, how are you supposed to confirm that? Right? It's impossible.
I
Sounds
can tell you
plausible.
at some point we'll put the picture out. It's probably in the book.
What do you think? I know we talked about this picture before, but let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, Ron, what do you think of that? 10 being, yep, I think that is a picture of an alien. What do you think?
I think that
it's your gut.
I think if I was going to fake a picture of an alien, I would have made it look more like your standard typical gray alien and not like the thing in this picture. And so, but I don't have an opinion. There's some weird stuff about this creature's head that when I got the images sent to me by somebody else of a similar, what appeared to be a similar creature that looked like it had been through a crash, burned up, and all this stuff, it looked like it could be the same species of being, which I thought was pretty weird. I'll have to get some permission to see if I can show these images. But I know that sucks, right? I'm going to get chewed up for that one. But yeah, I don't.
You showed a lot, Ron. You showed
jury's
a
out on this supposed picture of the alien. Even the image that I made is called supposed alien. So
is it just an alien all by itself, or is there more?
He's laying on a blanket, and supposedly he was frozen at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and they pulled him up to do some work on him, and he was thawing out, and that's what this is a picture of.
But Wright-Patterson has a history in the UFO community, right? I mean, there's a lot of history coming from that particular base.
Yeah, in fact, there's more of these typewritten letters from Chuck. One of them actually identifies some programs at Wright-Pat
and Chuck has since passed away, right? That is,
Chuck died right after his personal meeting with Wayne.
Well, that's interesting. Was there something suspicious there? Like,
no, Chuck was old and on his last leg, apparently.
So this is sort of his dying wish to sort of get this information out before he went. He wanted to make sure this story got out.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, I'm looking for the one that he actually talks about. Sometimes I think the reason UFO sightings are down in the Northwest is due to the bad time your father gave them in the air. They got a good look at us. Here, I'll show this one.
Hey, mods there in the chat. Look, if anyone's being an issue, ban them. Okay, I don't have time for it. Just I don't know if that's happening, but if it is, because I haven't been paying attention to the chat at all, I apologize.
I think I dropped an F-bomb on somebody earlier. I hope that got through.
Oh, don't sweat it. I mean, it's all good. But I don't want it. I don't want the mods having to, they got a lot to deal with on their own. So if somebody's giving you a problem, please don't even think twice about it. Just get them on, move on, and that's it. I won't sweat it.
So there's some other stuff about this guy's father, that he was actually friends with Pappy Boyington, and I have some letters detailing that. But this is another letter from Chuck. This one's addressed to Wayne's sister. Your father made my life more stable. He could be bigger than life at times. Such a great friend and a great flyer. Sometimes I think the reason UFO sightings are down in the Northwest is due to the bad time your father gave them in the air. They got a good look at us whenever they dropped in, and they didn't like it one bit. I'm going to Vancouver, got some digging to do. Your father and I hid some stuff up there. Hopefully I can find it so I can give it to one of you soon.
Wow. Was there any video ever, Ron, that the guys ever shared?
Not that I am aware of.
That's interesting, man. I mean, what would you do?
He refers
when you
to
get
some
letters like this?
That's
what the last didn't the last right? The film, I need to get it on video, or was he just meaning photos getting up on video?
No, he was talking. I think he was talking. I mean, they had gun camera footage and all kinds of other stuff.
Oh, they had gun camera footage from the 50s?
Yeah. And people are like, what? No, this jet had gun cameras. And, remember that first photo I showed you? It was supposedly looking something? Yeah. That is supposedly a frame of video from the shoot down, from the gun camera.
Oh, I thought it was just the gun camera took photos. But you're saying it took video, and that's a frame from that video. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
So anyway, yeah.
Wow. All right. So, and if y'all don't know what image we're talking about, in the first interview run I did, when he showed 3 images, it was the middle one. That's the one he's referring to.
This is another letter from Chuck, where he's talking about stuff. But he's like, he's talking about that they would be employees. They were all working undercover at all times. And he talks about an air technical intelligence officer out of Wright-Patterson, the home of the Quintanilla curse. Hector Quintanilla is called chief of the PBA roadblock on the road to the truth, Project Blue Book roadblock. So Hector Quintanilla, I'd like to know who he is. I haven't looked yet. If the truth is found, he would make sure it got lost. And that became part of our job as well. We did some debunking for Project Blue Book, but for the most part, it was for the truth. Hoaxes had reached a new height. Your father's way of debunking time. Look in the
Oh no. Run froze. Froze run. Oh no. Hang on, y'all. It froze. Let's give him a second. Come back in. Let me address some of this. Look, y'all, he's bringing up stuff like, come on, y'all. Everyone be cool to the mods, please. They work really hard. Just treat them with respect. I see people, but we're going to get booted for giving our opinion. No, you're not going to get booted for giving your opinion. You're going to get booted for being disruptive and mean, right? That's it. Give your opinion. It's all good.
Anyway, that's the universe telling me it's time to be done sharing. I've been having nothing with my internet. So these are all images and stuff from the tranche of the Sturgill case that we're wading through. So I've shared a lot of stuff with the community because I do want people to come see our live stream, and frankly, $99 for a live stream of the entire symposium. We've got Bob Salas coming forth as our keynote with more information about that stuff and the nuke sites and the UFOs. It's the whole symposium. So all these people that are saying, oh, you're just trying to make money off live streaming, $99 for a live stream of an entire symposium is the cheapest price out there. And it's just, and it costs a ton of money to do it. So
yeah. I agree. You're not going to convince those people, Ron. Don't worry about it. You can't. They're going to say that no matter if you charged, if it was free.
And the rest of you go to MUFONsymposium.com and be part of this live party that we're going to be having. We're rolling out 4 cases. This is only one of them. I talked at length with Jimmy Church last night about some of the other ones. This is some really compelling stuff, and it's going to be a heck of a show. And now, you know, in the spirit of sharing and in the spirit of all of us cooperating to get to the bottom of the mystery, I've shared a lot of stuff that I'm probably going to get in trouble with Wayne for putting out there, but I did it. And now you guys got a whole lot of fresh meat to digest, and hopefully you handle it in a cooperative, constructive manner, because this is a very compelling case, and it's, you know, I still haven't written it off.
Well said. And look, I hope Wayne does consider going on John Greenwald. John is a great guy. He would treat him with respect, and I support that move if Wayne wants to. So, but I understand Wayne's trepidation as well. So, up to him.
I mean, after he saw what happened to me, he's like, "Whoa, wait a minute." I mean, he's gonna. This is
he's gonna have to accept that, though. Like, that's just the UFO community. There's no like what month to jump in.
He doesn't have to talk to anybody in the UFO.
That's true. That's true. 100%.
And if you don't, that's fine too. Yeah. He's got a very peaceful, happy life. He's retired. He's a musician. He lives with his wife, and he doesn't want any headaches. I get it. I can tell you that him and the other people in his family have struggled with this stuff for years. What do we do with this information? How do we get it out there? Should we get it out there? And so, you know, I think that if the world wants to hear more and they want to hear from Wayne, they're going to have to. I think his book just needs some time to circulate in the vernacular and let people digest it, and then he can do whatever he wants to do.
I hear you.
But anyway, there's a bunch of other crazy cases. And, you know, just for the record, I'll say it again. I do agree with the people that found those figurines. I do agree that that's got to be those in the image. I'm not sticking up for it. I think they're right. And congratulations to the people that did that.
Awesome, man. No, I commend you for coming on. And look, the majority of people are happy you came on and talk about this, share this stuff. Again, I'm telling you, the majority of people. So that's where my focus is.
Book, okay, I've been tinkering around the UFO field since the early 2000s. I have a sterling reputation. I think Richard Dolan and I are some of the only guys that have managed to survive in this without being completely lambasted over time. And
Yeah.
when I put out a film like Accidental Truth, and hopefully all the people that have seen that movie, because it is a pinnacle of the UFO field. It won 28 awards, and it's called one of the best UFO documentaries of all time. And there's a reason for that. So I'm not going to screw that up, my credibility and anybody that I might take with me, by going out and trying to purport a fake picture. I mean, that's just dumb.
Sure. I agree.
So anyway, there you go. But yeah, I got
Yeah.
it, especially doing what I do for media relations. I am constantly barraged by images and videos and stuff. And if I shared half of them, it'd be like, especially the way this was received. But yeah, this case is compelling. The images were compelling. Some of them still are. Some of them can be debunked, and I think that's great.
I agree. No, man, I thank you, and I'm sorry this was last minute. I appreciate you taking
Okay,
time.
I didn't want to come on, but then I didn't realize that you were doing another Ron James episode. I think I need to become your new co-host. I'm responsible for more views than you've ever gotten collectively on your show. So let's keep the ball rolling.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, no. As far as interviews go, I've gotten more views with other videos, but that doesn't matter to me, Ron. I don't.
Like 100,000 plus. That's pretty good.
Absolutely. I don't even know. So I don't check that stuff because that's not my concern, right? Like that's not what I do it for. I'm not here for that. Yes. Do I need this to work, to continue to make this my job? Well, of course. Like, well, I'm not an idiot. That's why I understand your position on things, because I'm a businessman and I get it.
No, Patrick. I mean, how could you say that? You don't deserve to make money doing what you're doing. You're just a grifter. My gosh. Somebody said Ron James should be arrested and put on trial for showing that photograph. Can you believe that shit?
That's crazy. No, I'm with you. It's kind of one of those things where it's the smaller, it's a smaller portion though, and it comes with any community. And I think, I can only acknowledge it so many times before even I get tired of talking about it. I want to focus on the positive people.
I just gave a lot of really cool material to
you did awesome. Are you kidding me? I thought it was great. I thought it was great, man. And I'm happy to have you on to talk to this audience that comes here and meets every day, right? To see what we look at.
Especially when there's controversy surrounding me or MUFON or anybody else, because I'm not afraid to get up and stand up for anything that I've done or said, because I don't do things or say things that I think I need to hide from ever. And so, it is what it is.
I agree, man. There's nothing else you can do. That's what you're doing, in my opinion, is what someone should do. And I think you're doing it. And I don't see the issue, which is why you're always welcome on VETTED forever for that reason. So,
look, snake oil. Oh God, man. Some of you people out there,
it just comes with it, man. There's nothing, I believe in freedom of speech too. So I can't just get rid of everything.
And the people that have been trying to investigate this, and the internet sleuths that went out and investigated that other picture, these guys put tons of their own time and their own money into trying to get to the truth. And what I find about a lot of these people that are mouthing off and just sitting around in their armchairs with their keyboards being negative is they wouldn't even know what it's like to donate 100 hours of their time to any cause, because they're not that type of people. And so, I feel sorry for y'all. Why don't you get up and get involved and be positive and bring something that benefits what we're doing, instead of sitting in here acting like that? That's all I got to say.
Can't say I disagree with that, Ron. I gotta admit, of course I agree with that. Absolutely. I do. I agree with that 100%. So look, does it come with the territory? Yeah, man. Look, I do a video every day. I deal with it every single day. So I get it. I guess I'm just used to it now. I'm just like, fuck it. What I hated is that they came after you. And if they come after my mods and things like that, or my community, the other vetters, I don't like that. And of course I'm going to stick up. And I think we've made our point here today, which I think a lot of people are going to be genuinely happy about, the people you want to be happy about it, right? The
Yeah.
people you put yourself out there and you attract like-minded people. Of course, there's going to be some bullshit out there. It's just like cutting the fat off some meat. When you get some meat from the butcher, you still got to trim it. You still got to trim it and get it ready.
Before I went on his show yesterday, and we were joking about all this, and he's like, "Don't worry about it. We're not doing that on my show." And I said, "Yeah, well, I thought I was doing the right thing, teasing that image." And he's like, "No, you were a dumbass." And then what did I do? I went on his show and I showed a whole bunch more. I even gave him pictures of another case. So, that's okay. It's fun.
Listen, man, we can't figure anything out if we don't look at it. Again, to me, that's 2 + 2 = 4. And anyone saying anything otherwise is trying to tell me that equals 5. And I'm not listening. I just ignore it. I move on. I just ignore it, man. That's what I do. I ignore it.
Hey, so what was going on with Danny Sheehan?
Yeah, you want to see this clip I was going to show real quick?
Sure. Because I know Danny and I talk to him quite often.
Yeah, I had him on the show. I love Danny. He's great, man. And that's why I wanted to show this clip, because he said some stuff that I agree with 100%. So he was on Engaging the Phenomenon, which I've had James Iandoli on as well. Had a great conversation with him. And yeah, I'll just play this clip real quick. And you tell me what you think too, Ron.
You can put me in the
some of the people who have almost firsthand knowledge and who have been able to tell members of the Senate Intelligence Committee who have the adequate clearances, who the people are who have this firsthand information, have been people who have almost firsthand knowledge, but they're not the people with the firsthand knowledge. Some of the people with the firsthand knowledge are willing to talk off the record. They're making proffers, which is kind of a legal concept. They could make a hypothetical proffer of information to the Senate Intelligence Committee people with the proper clearances, but they haven't done it yet because they've not been provided with what they view to be the adequate protections. This is a standard procedure that is available inside the Justice Department, for example, whereby the Justice Department can not only grant either use immunity, which means that or transactional immunity, so that there can be absolutely no legal steps taken against them for the activity that they've engaged in. And also they could be given the authority to be put into the witness protection program and provided actual physical security team to protect them against violent acts. That there's a range of protections that are available inside the present system. And the question is, can those be provided to these people who have the firsthand knowledge, and will that satisfy them? Do they believe that the government, for example, the Justice Department, the United States Marshal Service, are they adequately prepared to protect them against the kind of retribution that might be taken against them by the field forces of this legacy group? Because it's important to understand that our country has, since the passage of the National Security Act of 1947, has actually developed programs that authorize the use of lethal force outside of the United States boundaries, and that they allow. We've now seen it manifested by the actual, directing of manned missile strikes against individuals to murder them and kill them that they view to be enemies of the state. It's taken place in specific regard to the terrorist activities of the Middle Eastern Islamic terrorists, that they've been targeted and assassinated by the United States, and that they use these deadly drone attacks to murder them, blow up their cars with their full family in it, blow up their entire houses with their families in them, and so that they believe that they've been authorized to do that kind of activity abroad. And the problem is that the people in the legacy group believe that they've been authorized to use that kind of force stateside here inside our country, and to use it against American citizens. if in fact they were to threaten to betray their security clearances that they've taken to keep this ultimate secret. And so that the people who have the most firsthand knowledge about this are understandably fearful that the other more prosaic law enforcement agencies like the Justice Department, FBI, even the U.S. Marshal Service and the Secret Service are not actually capable of protecting them effectively against these other people because they are so deeply devoted to keeping this secret. That's the problem that we're having right now, or the challenge that we have. So our New Paradigm Institute is in the process of crafting a much more strengthened whistleblower protection system for the people, designed to free them up from this fear, to see if they'll come forward and talk about this. But it raises an additional issue over and above the whistleblower protection, the issue of amnesty and potential use immunity or transactional immunity that they would be given to protect them against criminal or civil prosecution for conduct that they've engaged in as participants in the program in the past. So these are all things that we're engaged in attempting to design for them at the present time to make them available. The problem is, the challenge that we have is that the Senate might well be willing to pass these people over on the House side, these three individuals, this Michael Turner, who is the Republican head of the House Intelligence Committee, Michael Rogers, who is the Republican head of the House Armed Services Committee, and Michael Johnson, who is the present Speaker of the House of Representatives. The three of them have been prevailed upon by the private aerospace corporations to kill any effort to strengthen the whistleblower statute because they don't want this information made available. They want to continue to pretend that they don't have the UFO technology. They want to pretend that they don't know that there's this extraterrestrial civilization that is coming and going from our planet, that this is the deepest and darkest secret in the possession of our United States national security state, and that they believe that they are authorized to deploy lethal force to keep it secret.
And you've spoken to a number of
So, okay, actually, this answer is important.
these witnesses.
I'm not at liberty to discuss
All right,
that.
and
So, yes, he has probably, right? But I get Danny cannot say that. Ron, do you want me to bring you in? Do you want to come, or are you done here? Give me a thumbs up if you want to come in, because I can't hear you. I don't know if Ron's still. I got him in the backstage. Ron, give me a thumbs up if you want to come back on, okay? I'm watching your thing, but yeah, I totally agree with what Danny Sheehan is saying there. Got to be honest, right? Let's give these whistleblowers what they want, and then there's no excuse for them not to come forward, right? But let's give them that protection. Let's be real. If I was in that position and I felt that wasn't there for me, I get it. You have a family. Do we want like an Ed Snowden type, a Julian Assange, to just throw their life away to bring this out? I think some people maybe have tried that and it didn't work. So I don't know. What is the right way to do it? I don't know, but I agree with Danny here. And having the three mics in our way on the House side is not good. So yeah, but I agree with Danny here. You know, let's get these whistleblower protections in place to bring them out. And again, if Danny said something else on another podcast too recently, where he said that people want firsthand whistleblowers coming forward, right? You touched the craft, worked on the craft, and I agree. That's the only thing that's going to really move the needle publicly. More stories, people testifying of they heard. It's just not going to work anymore, in my opinion. maybe it'll help move some legislation or get more Congress people on board. But like publicly, let's be real. We're ready for that first-hand whistleblower to come forward and tell us. But at the same time, I see the other side of the coin. They want to feel protected because that is the end game. That's the most important witness, is that person or people, right? So I understand the concern and fear for safety. So, Rod, do you want me to bring you back up, brother? Give me a thumbs up. I think he's on the phone, so let's just leave him there. Yeah, he's on the phone. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Bring you up, Ron? I did it. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Oh, you're muted again. Can I unmute you? Hang on. Oh no. You're muted, Ron. We still can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
There you go. There you go. No
Here's
worries.
a picture of Dan and I. We were just I've interviewed him for the new movie, and we're in contact a lot with what he's doing with the New Paradigm Institute. The whistleblower thing is super complex. Just because in theory whistleblowers have some kind of protection, it's not really turning out that way, like you said. Just because you supposedly can do this, it doesn't mean that you can go from working on a flying saucer to holding a conference at the press club. So there's rules for how this has to be done, and they all need legal help. And there are elements of the intelligence community and whoever has been keeping this a secret from us that are not above threatening them. Lou has come out publicly saying he's felt threatened. So has Gary Nolan. I've gotten cautionary emails from people. Hey, hope you're doing okay. You know, watch your back. And I've gotten those from some of these people that we're talking about. So there is a certain danger to going too far in this battle for disclosure. And so the whistleblowers that are out there that, you know, there's a whole behind the scenes thing happening right now that is happening with a core group of people that are trying to pave the way, the pathway for these people to come from out of the shadows into first the congressional offices and then into the limelight. And like when I interviewed Ralph Blumenthal recently about David Grush, you know, Ralph is the one that broke that story. Ross broke it on TV. Ralph broke it in print. It was a year of back and forth before that story got published. And so there's a lot of those kinds of things that are happening right now. Stuff where people that are in the know what these people have done and they know what these people are going to say, but getting them to the point where they can safely say it behind closed doors to a congressional committee and eventually to the public. This is a long, hard slog. And, you know, Danny's in DC working really hard to make this happen. MUFON is in DC working really hard to make this happen. I've had personal meetings with Congress people. I could show you pictures of me with Andre Carson and Ed Markey and a lot of these people that we're talking to. It's tough and there's a lot of nuances. So when he says, yeah, there's people out there that have done these things, but the path is still not clear or safe for them to come out, he knows what he's talking about because he's in the middle of it. I can vouch for Danny. I know exactly what he's doing, and he's knee deep in all of it. Yeah.
No, I think he has talked to these whistleblowers. I mean, I remember asking him about Jason Sands right after the news broke of Jason Sands, right? I got the first comment about that. And yeah, you know, Danny's in there, man. I got a lot of respect for Danny, to be honest with you. And I appreciate what he's doing. And yeah, that's why I reached out to Danny this morning and said, you know, trying to set up another one because I'd like to, you know, it's been a little bit since he came on. So have another conversation for sure with him.
What's the verdict on Jason Sands? I mean, you know, this guy's website supposedly where it's a legal firm and he's got a selfie. And then, you know, saying that he was part of 20 and back. I mean, these are a couple of deal breakers for me, but I'm staying out. I've got my own controversies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the same way, right? He said, look, James Fox is a big reason why I started this channel. And if James Fox is going to put him in his next film, the program, I'm going to wait. Okay. I am. And to be fair to Jason Sands, I went in a Twitter space. I spoke to him. I got to ask him a couple questions. He agreed to come on VETTED after the documentary comes out. what more can I ask of somebody, right? He's willing to come on and answer some questions. So am I suspicious? Yeah, of course. Does my gut start, going crazy with BS? Yeah, it does. But, I'm here to get the full story, and I don't have the full story yet. So it would be disingenuous of me to just completely write that off. Again, I do have a lot of respect for James Fox. So he's going to put him in his film, and there's more to the story that hasn't come out, according to Jason Sands and James Fox. Yeah, I'm going to watch it. So we'll see.
Well, let's not forget for a minute that this entire cast of characters that we're seeing up front are all taking orders from somebody. That Lou Elizondo is not saying anything he's not given permission to say. Either is David Grush, for that matter. So when we have somebody like Jason Sands coming out telling whatever story he's telling, for whatever reason he's telling these stories, he's not doing it because he's not part of this thing. If his military and intelligence records bear out, he's still working. And you guys can trust that about anybody. You never leave the intelligence community. You're always still working.
Yeah, that's what AJ told me from the Y-Files. Not that, I'm not saying he's super expert, but I appreciate his research and the videos he does. I know he talks to a fish, but
See, that's
respect him a lot.
People think that Hecklefish is a fish, but that's not true. He's a shape-shifting reptilian who actually hides in a bowl. And it's just one of those things. People are like, oh yeah, they just accept that he's a talking goldfish, but they don't understand. He's far more than that.
That's funny. That is funny. I love that.
I hope everybody knows that's a joke.
Of course. Good God. Yes. No, we got to laugh at this too, Ron, and I appreciate that. Absolutely. We do have to laugh at that. Trust me, sometimes it's hard for me to know what's a joke or what people send me a joke. That tweet you send me about the 3D printer thing, I was like, oh wait, is this? I don't know. I'm getting to know you, right?
You know what?
I'm getting to know people's humor.
You're right. We need to give the internet some more red meat to cook me with. I'll be right back.
Oh no, guys, here we go. I don't know what he's going to bring back. Ben says, you heard it, reptilian disclosure from Ron. Yep, we've uncovered Hecklefish, y'all. Oh, I love the Y-Files, y'all.
Here, hold on.
Look at this. Holy shit, yeah. Ron shows alien skull on VETTED.
This was given to me by a Native American found in secret on the Hopi Reservation in northern Arizona 3 weeks ago.
It is pretty cool, though.
My 3D printer.
You made that?
I made it. I make these things.
Wow.
This is one of my limited edition by Ron James sculptures. So this is
that's sick.
Origin unknown. And so this is my first one that's kind of life size. So I have this.
Dude, that thing is sick. Are you kidding me? I can't believe you made that.
Oh, it's really cool.
It's awesome.
But it's fake.
Of course. That's from the Nazca mummies, y'all. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Jaime Maussan.
I think I think that looks sick, dude. The elongated thing is cool, man. I love that. That looks so cool. Wow, I love that.
So we made those.
Really
I also made these. And I'm not telling people where to buy these, so nobody can accuse me of trying to make money. If you want one, you can find it on the web.
No, and I'm asking you, right? Like
anniversary MUFON limited edition.
Dude, that's cool too. Love
handmade by moi.
Really?
I don't want to be sitting in front of a computer all the time. I try to make things with my hands.
Dude, that's sick. That looks great.
But yeah, let's
dude, those skulls are really cool, dude. I really have to admit, those are really cool.
I texted Patrick a picture of the alien skull, and I said, Ron James finds alien skull inside 3D printer.
Look, for a split second, Ron, I was like, oh shit, is he fucking serious right now? Like, I didn't know, dude. I'm getting to know your sense of humor.
Memes, like Ron James reveals, and I should have a picture of a hammer saying it's alien technology. I should have this fake skull saying that it's real, and I should just go out and ride the publicity wave with a little bit of comedy.
You should, dude. There were some funny shit on Twitter of people sharing like Lego setups with the thing, be like, here's a new UFO picture. And I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
I didn't realize that people were doing that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
for me,
I
man,
haven't
that's a
wanted
good
to,
thing. No, that's a good thing, dude. You listen, Ron, start worrying when people stop talking about you. You know what I'm
I hear
saying?
you.
That's the truth. So no, again, most people were happy. If you just search on, if you go to Twitter and you went to the search bar and you search Ron James MUFON picture and you looked, it's 95% positive, dude. It
Oh, no,
really
I
is.
know.
It's
Because there's nothing negative or deceitful or anything else about what
yeah.
I did or what I did.
It was like, hey, here's something. What do you think? And that's it. That's where we should be. And I thought that was great. So yeah, man. No, there were some really funny memes, and I'm glad you can laugh about it. It's good to know you the sense of humor now. Texting you like, okay, I get it.
You've
First of all, I
reached a
love to
new
laugh.
level when people are memeing you.
I
I mean,
love
that's
it.
pretty
I
cool,
love
I
it.
guess.
Yeah. No. Oh no. Well, look, this audience is also your audience. Think about it. These are people that are into UFOs. They're going to watch your movie. They follow movie. We're all share the same audience in the UFO community. You know, it's not like people that watch my show only watch me and they don't watch anything else or get involved with anything else. So, you know, anyone that comes on the show, just know it's your audience too. You know, these are people that would be interested in what you have to share as well. You know,
Well,
so
anyway.
anyway.
The whole disclosure movement is moving fast and furious. And all joking aside, there's so much facts coming out and so many compelling cases that may or may not resolve in a meaningful way. But there is no shortage of material, and there's no shortage of things moving. There's no shortage of movement.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said. Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to go. Yeah. Thanks for having me on again. And yeah, hopefully pictures of me and the alien skull aren't all over the internet tomorrow, but it'll be funny if they are. All right, you guys.
I'll let you know. Thanks, Ron. Have a good one, bud. All right. Well, thank you to Ron for coming on. Again, that's what it's about, y'all. We're having conversations, right? Ron felt comfortable. He shared a bunch of cool pictures that I was intrigued by. Look, y'all have the two people, right? The one picture we did the zoom in on the one guy from the newspaper clipping. Let's see if we can match that up with the other picture he showed of all the guys, right? Because he's saying those are the same people. Let's get at it. I'm with it. Let's go. So yeah, much thanks to Ron coming on. And again, like I said, full transparency. I did reach out to Danny Sheehan today, so I probably haven't heard back, but hopefully I will, and we'll get Danny on again so we can have more discussions about these firsthand whistleblowers and just we are in election season, and whether or not we like it or not, one facet to disclosure is this government aspect. I know I don't cover it too much on the channel, but it is important. And it is something to get to, and Danny's the perfect guy to talk about it. So, but thank you to Ron for coming on. That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. That was great. That's what more do we want? And those skulls he had, let's be real, that was sick. Those are sick. Those are cool, man. I would 1000% put those on, like without a doubt. So look, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. All right. So thank you to the mods for just being awesome, dude. Y'all, I'm telling you, I didn't look at the chat like at all, if I'm being honest, the whole show really. So thank you to them for just maintaining everything and having to talk and whatever and monitor, right? Moderate, I guess is the word. They're awesome. So thank you to them. Brookers, Heiser, Jessica, Daniel. Who else am I missing here? Remedy. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I hope I'm not missing anybody there. Just thank you, everyone. Amazing. So, and thank you to everyone that watched and tuned in and was respectful and wanted to get along. And I get it, I get it that you're going to have some strong opinions sometimes. I get it. And I don't have any problem with you sharing that. Let's just not be as disruptive, right? Put your strong opinion. Just don't put it 30 fucking times, right? Put it once and okay, I get it. Right. But we can't just fill up with negativity. We're also not going to get anywhere with that either. And I promise I'm done addressing it. I'm ready to move on from that. I hope I made it clear in this live stream that moving forward, Vetted will be a place to talk about things, discuss things, show things. Let's go at it. Let's vet it together. Right. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The resources we can all bring together far outweigh what I can do on my own. That's just the truth of it. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I am going to go to the VETTED Discord. So if you want, go join the VETTED Discord. If you're not a member already, link in the description, or one of the mods will put it here in the chat. I'm going to the VETTED after party. After every video, there's an after party. We can jump in and comment on the video and talk more about it. On Fridays, I go on the mic, and we all go on the mic and talk like on the mic. So it's a little different, more involved, more intimate, and I like it. So I am going to go do that right after this. If you want to talk with me more personally about anything or about what we just discussed, join us in there, and we'll all have a nice discussion together. I am going to take about 5 minutes, though, because I got to go to the bathroom. So I'm in the stream, do my thing, and then I'll see everyone in the Discord after party. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all.